We literally just read Kamala's book and pointed out a major discrepancy, mainly that her grandmother, who she produced a photo of herself with, happened to die before Kamala was born. So yeah, seems a little odd, just asking questions here. Well, today we were able to secure the birth certificates and the death certificates and some marriage certificates, which confirm that Kamala either made a huge mistake, all by accident, or she outright lied because she wanted to convince the public that she was Black. Do not go away, you guys, because this is about to get crazy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today we are looking at the video about Kamala Harris being exposed about lying about her grandparents, and it backfires. Let's jump straight into the video and watch. Also, I'll be giving my views along the way. Let's get to it.
By the manner in which the Guardian, or a Guardian reporter rather, treated Janet Jackson in a profile piece. It was very obvious they were trying to do the wacko jacko bit again, like they did with her brother. And then when the reporter switched gears and asked her about supporting Kamala Harris as the first female Black president, you know, Hollywood's all got to get in line and support this woman or else, Janet Jackson simply said that she had heard that Kamala was not Black and that she was in fact Irish, and the media, predictably, went completely crazy. I mean, here are some of the headlines here. NBC, Janet Jackson tells interviewer she's heard Kamala Harris is not Black, echoing election disinformation. Oh, love that word. Newsweek, Janet Jackson's Kamala Harris remarks spark Black backlash. The Independent, she's not Black. Janet Jackson makes shocking comments about Kamala Harris's heritage. And of course, the New York Times, Janet Jackson repeats false claims about Kamala Harris's race. False claims.
Everyone, please pray every day for Candace's safety. She's just amazing. This is the true definition of journalism, shining a light on dark facts and matters. I mean, we got to give respect to her. This is remarkable, ladies and gentlemen. The amount of effort that she put in doing and uncovering this is just out of this world. Wow, this is beautiful.
So to be clear, all Janet Jackson said was, quote, "That's what I heard, that she's Indian, that her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered that her father was white." Okay, that is all that she said that led to all of this craziness in the media trying to paint her like she was some sort of a psycho. And then her manager, a guy named Mo El Marzi that I'm showing you a picture of here, he offered an apology on Janet Jackson's behalf to BuzzFeed. He said, quote, "Janet Jackson would like to clarify her recent comments. She recognizes that her statements regarding Vice President Kamala Harris's racial identity were based on misinformation. Janet respects Harris's dual heritage as both Black and Indian and apologizes for any confusion caused. She values the diversity that Harris represents and understands the importance of celebrating that in today's society. Janet remains committed to promoting unity and understanding," end quote. And guess what happened? Janet Jackson fired him immediately and said that he was not authorized to make that statement at all, and she was not apologizing because she was not sorry, and good for her. I'm glad she fired him. I am so tired of people being so fake, having to apologize for something that should not have yielded any response from the media. In fact, it should have been the opposite. They should have went ahead and investigated the claim that Kamala Harris is Black.
And also, I mean, we gotta give respect to Janet Jackson, for standing her ground and not apologizing, and even for firing her manager. Yes, good should always prevail and not lies and evil, A lot of times nowadays, a lot of people, they try to be politically correct, try to spice up words, to cover lies, in fact, to cover the truth, and to uplift lies. No, it shouldn't be that way. Nobody should feel bad for saying the truth. No, nobody should feel bad for saying the truth. That's why I love Elon Musk, for what he's doing for free speech, Yeah, nobody should be attacked for that. No, you see, you should never apologize for speaking the truth. No. I mean, I'm so glad that Janet Jackson stood up for herself and did what was right. That's the definition of a true role model, especially for the lot of young men and women, young boys and girls are there. You know, that's the definition of a true role model. Someone worth emulating, bravery, courageousness. Standing for what's right and what is true.
Because why on earth is the world trying to convince me that this woman is suddenly black? Like they just decided she was black because she's running and because there is evidence, it is true, that her father grew up in Jamaica. Your race does not magically change because of where you grow up, okay? If I grow up in Sweden, I don't get to suddenly say I'm white, okay? And what I discovered was quite startling. Now, I'll ask you, when did you first get the idea that Kamala was black? Well, you'll say, yeah, when she kind of started running with Joe Biden. And that claim really came from Kamala herself. When they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, they understood that Kamala Harris published a book in 2019 called The Truth That We Hold. And presumably the book was filled with truth that she was holding. I had a look through it and I saw this picture of her and her grandmother, clearly a black-looking grandmother, on page 282 in the photograph section. It reads, as you can see, visiting my paternal grandmother, Beryl, in Jamaica. Also on that same page, there's another photo of her. Again, you can see it's black and white. I'm not quite sure why it is black and white, but it says, when I was 10 months old, I visited Spanish Town, Jamaica. This is me with my mother and my paternal grandfather, Oscar Joseph. And now this guy looks mixed. He looks Asian of some description, but you can see the idea here is that she's definitely trying to introduce, in a manner of photos, things that make her race look more complicated. So I just decided to investigate that, and immediately things got weird, very weird. First and foremost, because it was very easy for me to determine via just a light search online that Beryl, her alleged paternal grandmother that you just saw, died 4 years before Kamala was born in 1960. So last night we decided to continue our research to see if we could find birth certificates and marriage certificates and death certificates, which could further signify those points, and indeed it did. And it also raised even more questions about her genealogy. So let's go through those.
It's crazy that we live in a time where even hard evidence isn't enough to change some people's minds and wake them up. How sad. How sad. Even in the face of this evidence, still there are people who will say, no, we will vote for Kamala Harris. Can you imagine? They'll say we'll vote for Kamala Harris. Even in the midst of all this abundant evidence. What a time we live in. When will people wake up and come to identify and understand the truth? They are so caught up in the lies that they can't admit when they are wrong. Yeah, they are so caught up in the lies they can't even admit when they are wrong.
Here is the birth certificate for her paternal grandmother. This is Kamala's paternal grandmother, Beryl. Okay, now you can see on this birth certificate that Beryl is spelled with an I. It's Beryl Magdalene. And you can see the reason why we know this is the correct Beryl is because the mother is listed as Iris Finnegan. Later on, we're going to show you in the book, she names Iris Finnegan as her great grandmother. So that would be Beryl's mother. So we have the right woman. Also, formerly, her maiden name is Allen. That is true. It also says here that she's born in October of 1917 in St. Anne. That's the St. Anne Parish of Jamaica. And again, you can see it says that it is signed by Iris Finnegan. Very clearly, this is the woman that we are looking for. This is Kamala's grandmother, alleged grandmother, Beryl. It's also interesting, by the way, that it lists her great-grandmother as a seamstress because Donald Harris, Kamala's father, wrote in a 2020 piece called Reflections of a Jamaican Father, quote, Miss Iris, that again would be his grandmother, was the mother of 8 children, too, was the sweetest and gentlest person one could meet, but underneath it was a tough farming woman who ran the cane farm at Thatch Walk near Annan Town, jointly owned with her husband, Mr. Christie. Okay, that's weird. So you're telling me that she ran a farm because on that birth certificate it says that Actually, Iris was a seamstress, but whatever. Let's just park that aside for a second and stick with Beryl, this woman who died before Kamala was born, okay? Because I was feeling pretty certain that not too many people were going to be named Beryl and be born in the St. Anne parish of Jamaica in 1917 to a mother named Iris Finnegan. I felt confident that we could find a little bit more data, and in fact, we did, okay? First, we stumbled across Beryl's marriage certificate. Okay, so you can see that right here. And now the name spelling has changed. You have Beryl Finnegan spelled with a Y in the same way that Kamala spells it. And it lists their married date as 1944. Again, you can see the parish that is listed is St. Anne Parish. This is where every piece of Beryl's life seems to take place. It reads here that her calling is a barmaid. And something that jumped out at me was the fact that she's married to someone, as you can see, named Lawford Newland.
But hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Candace Owens for standing strong, and always telling it like it is. Oh, yes, that's one thing about me, Candace Owens. She always tells it like it is. Yeah, these are the people we need. That's what leadership really is, standing for what's right and what is true. You see, the sad reality is that her supporters do not care if she lies or not. Kamala Harris supporters, they don't even care if she lies or if she doesn't lie. Can you imagine?
Okay. So Beryl apparently was married more than once because Lawford Newland is not Donald Harris's father, but Beryl is his mother. So just to be clear, again, it says that she married a guy named Lawford Newland in 1944 when she was 25 years old, okay? It's important to note that that would have been 4 years after she gave birth to Donald Harris, Kamala's father. I find that to be very strange. Also, regarding Kamala's father, we cannot seem to locate, regarding Lawland Newland, the person that she married, we can't find him. Can't find him anywhere. We cannot find a birth certificate. We cannot find a death certificate. We can't find a news item or otherwise. I cannot find this alleged Lawford Newland that apparently her grandma got married to. We also can't find a wedding certificate for Beryl and Oscar Wilde Joseph Brown Harris. That is allegedly supposed to be Donald Harris's father. Okay, so Kamala's grandfather is Oscar Wilde Joseph Brown Harris, and we can't find a marriage certificate between the two of them. That's very strange. As speculated, we were able to confirm that Kamala's Black grandmother that she showed us in that picture died in 1960, before Kamala was born. I can show you right now her death certificate. Let's take a look at Beryl's death certificate, which confirms. As you can see there, it says that she died in July of 1960. It also tells us on the right-hand side, you guys will probably have to zoom in on this, but she died of a uterine infection, uterine fibroids due to a hysterectomy. It has her listed as 39 years. That's actually a couple of years off from 1917, so somebody may have gotten their math wrong here. But you once again see that it lists her birthplace as St. Anne. And so this is a huge scandal. Just an absolutely huge scandal. Kamala Harris published in her book that she was standing next to her Grandma Beryl. But Grandma Beryl died in 1960, 4 years before Kamala Harris was born. So who the hell is the real Beryl? Who is that woman standing next to Kamala Harris? And do you know what I noticed about that woman standing next to her? She looks a lot like the woman that Kamala claims in her book is her great-grandmother, Iris. Now, that's Iris Finnegan. Here's the book with my great-grandmother, Iris Finnegan in Jamaica. Now, I'm going to give you the side-by-side of Iris and her alleged daughter, Beryl, who died at 39. Now, that woman on the right is not 39 years old. She's clearly much more advanced in her age. I mean, we know black don't crack. I mean, that's just a scientific fact. So I would put that woman on the right-hand side who she tried to pass off as Beryl, and I think is the exact same person. I would say that that woman looks to be about 65. And then it looks like she's more advanced on the left-hand side. The great-grandmother, that's the same person. When I just believe my own eyes, we're looking at the same person. What do you guys think when you look at those photos? How the hell does a person who is the vice president of the United States pass off a book, claim that these people that are in her book are her black relatives, and nobody bats an eyelash or does even a peripheral search to recognize that the woman that she put forth is implausibly her grandmother?
Kamala Harris supporters never want to hear anyone criticize Kamala, even when the criticism is warranted. They don't want to hear it. And now look at what they're doing. They're even using all these celebrity guys, to come to and endorse Kamala Harris as if it's gonna make some difference. No, people, they are waking up now. They're now waking up. It's not about who the person is. It's about what policies does she have. Yeah, it's about policies. Vote policy. Don't vote gender. Don't vote color. No, but vote for policy. You see? I mean, it's so sad how they say someone is crazy when they do not go along with their agenda or lies. You always hear them, they're always name calling, calling those who do not support their agendas, those guys from the left. They all say that they're crazy. I mean, have you ever really take some time to listen to what they say in their rallies? It's always about Trump. He's this, he's that. It's Trump. He's this, he's that. And they're not telling you nothing about policy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wake up.
Something very suspicious is going on. I don't know how it is plausible, guys. Do not allow the media to gaslight us. It is not difficult, okay, for a person that is running for president of the United States to have a tidy background. This is my mom. This is my dad. This is my grandma. That it always seems to be the case that right before they run, they introduce like one or two photos that they allege are from their childhood. This is my grandma. This is my mom. And if you ask any more questions, I'm going to scream at you and call you a racist, is completely ridiculous. We now have a scandal on our hands, okay? And again, this is the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep looking for these relatives. I'm going to confirm that all of these people are in fact black. I find it strange, just as a little tidbit, that when you go on these genealogy websites, you can see that there's somebody managing the profile. All of the people that are managing the profile for Kamala's relatives are white. What interest would white people around the United States have in managing the profile for this Jamaica family? Unless what Janet Jackson said was true, and that these are her white Irish relatives, and she's been hiding that fact by trying to introduce some random photos of a woman and purporting that that woman is her grandmother. Again, if she's been with you throughout your entire life, Kamala, you could drop some more photos, but no matter what, you lied in your book, okay? You lied in your book. That woman died in 1960, and you were born in 1964, and I find that to be extremely problematic.
What surprises me is that no one has ever done this kind of investigation. No one does this. What Candace Owens have done here, Can you imagine the length that she had to put in to uncover this? Can you imagine? All I gotta say is thank you, Candace. Thank you for doing this. You're doing this for the American people. And thank you for bringing truth to the front. Thank you, Candace. And may God bless you, Candace. Yeah. If Kamala can lie about family members, imagine what else is she hiding? I mean, what's the point for lying? I don't get it. Why did she need to lie? I mean, if she can go that far is to lie about family members, what else is she hiding? What else is she hiding? I truly hope that the black communities understand that Kamala treats them probably as stupid, Trump would never do that. No, and he has never done that, you know. I never vote for race. Yeah, it's important. I never vote for race. It's important to vote for the best person, folks. Vote for the best person. You see? One of the best things about Trump is that he is all inclusive when it comes to race. MAGA, think about it, make America great again. It's about supporting all Americans, no matter what ethnicity you are. Yeah. In other words, it's uniting all. That's how we build the country. When all is united. Yes. I pray that people will walk up to this truth, you see, and will be able to tell what is real from what is fake. Yeah. I mean, it's sick to allow America divided by race, especially by political parties. Don't allow it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let it. America should not be divided by race and especially political parties. You see, if Kamala finds it okay to lie about something like this, about family, imagine what else is she really hiding? I mean, and also, she definitely will lie about anything else. Definitely, she would go even that far to lie even about anything else. And the most terrible thing is that no station would ever show this. No, they don't like to expose her. They don't like to expose her true colors. They don't like to be exposed. They would rather tell you that Trump is bad, Trump is this, Trump is that, and not report what is true. Yes, folks, that's the times we live in now. It's crazy, I know. But hey, that's the times we live in now. Ladies and gentlemen, you should vote for someone who believe. Ladies and gentlemen, you should vote for someone whom you believe can save America. Imagine a life so devoid of accomplishments that you need to lie on your resume about having worked at McDonald's. Can you imagine that? I mean, imagine a life so devoid of accomplishments that you literally need to lie on your resume about having worked at McDonald's. Why did she need to lie about that one? I don't get it. I don't get it. But hey, it happened. She lied. And that's another red flag there. That's another red flag. What kind of a president do you need, America? What kind of a president do you need? Do you need a president who lies to you? Or a president who is honest, who will tell you the truth as it is? Trump 2024, all American people must make the right choice, must make the right decision. May God bless America.